We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing. We're gabbing.
Welcome to Gabbing
Gabbing!
with Gracie.
And Heather.
Well, I have a bit of a cold, so this week I am the one that's not drinking. I just have an iced coffee.
And I am having I don't know what this is. Tradizionale affogato. Prodotto in Italia. I have no idea.
Is it a white wine?
No, it's a red wine.
Oh,
Italia Vino Tinto. So it's a red wine. And I guess it's called affogato. But it says traditional affogato. So I'm not sure.
all right.
Affogato is as rich and flavorsome as the Italian dessert of the same name. A charming blend of our region's indigenous grape varieties, this generous wine displays luscious, ripe, dark fruits, vanilla, coffee, and smoky mocha flavors with layers of creamy chocolate on the nose and palate. A wine smooth enough to savor with simple antipasti or an indulgent way to end a fine meal.
Okay, so it could be like a dinner wine or like a dessert wine.
I guess so.
Have you tried it yet?
Yeah, I think it's pretty good.
Good.
I need it.
It's a day. It's been a day.
I don't know what it is, to be honest. I didn't think I had a harsh day today, and at some point, I just started to develop a headache, and it's just been feeling tense ever since. So I'm not sure.
Probably like a snowball effect, like things are catching up with you.
That always happens.
Yeah.
Yes.
But hopefully, our conversation will help. We are getting into more of the nitty gritty of season 5 of Supernatural. So, we're discussing season 5 of Supernatural, episode 4 and episode 5.
Ooh, we finally made it.
Yeah, we're getting there. There's just so much to talk about with each episode.
Tell me about it.
So, episode 4 is called The End, and it takes place in Kansas City, Missouri. The summary is Dean refuses Sam's effort to help him battle the devil and wakes up to find himself 5 years in the future in a wasteland where Lucifer has begun his endgame by unleashing a virus that transforms humans into zombies. I screamed in this episode because I was so excited because like we have our list. I don't know if we've ever explained this to listeners, but we have like a list of like kind of things that we have seen in previous episodes that we're like, this must come back at some point, but we don't know when it's going to come back. Did you do the same thing during this
No,
episode? Girl,
absolutely not. Now I gotta go back and see. Okay.
Croatone.
The what?
Croatone, the whole like virus episode from
Oh, I
season
was
one.
wondering. I was like, this sounds familiar.
You're the one that added it to the list, I think.
I can't find the list.
Oh, I should bring it up.
Not that it
Because
means anything. Oh, duh. Never mind. Okay,
I
I
think
got it
it's
now.
season one.
Okay, so it was the first one in our list of upcoming SPN question mark Croatone testing on Sam to see if he would react to epidemic. And of course,
Yeah,
but
because
the
that episode never had a resolution because they never figured out why the yellow-eyed demon had the virus because everybody just like that was infected just disappeared.
like at this point,
And we just
and
knew Sam was immune.
at this point, right, in the
Hmm.
future, he's oh, I was gonna skip ahead. Whatever. Spoiler alert. Whoa, whoa.
Wait, how
He's
far are you skipping ahead?
no, just the same episode. Um,
Oh yeah, I mean I skipped ahead mentioning Croatone. But for those who
um,
didn't catch it, Dean sees when he wakes up and he's like realizing everything has gone to hell. He sees Croatone written on the side of a building. I think in blood. All right, but go on. What were you gonna say?
no, I was just gonna say Sam is Lucifer, so he should be immune, period, because he's Lucifer.
True, but maybe that's part of like what makes him the ideal vessel.
That he's so strong that he is immune
That
to Croatoan,
Yeah, so that
whatever.
like shows that he can withstand being Lucifer's vessel or he is like strong enough to protect Lucifer from like
Getting sick because
yeah,
Lucifer is in human form.
because it makes me wonder, and I don't think they get into this. Can the vessels of the demons get the virus?
Can they get sick?
and then they would have to move to a different vessel or something like that.
Have we ever seen Cass getting sick? Because he would be our perfect example.
Oh, that's a good point. Not that I recall.
Me too.
So yeah, we'll have to keep a lookout if Cass gets sick at any point.
Mm.
But we also learn in this episode that Cass isn't always an angel.
Like you said the like last time, we're surprised that we didn't remember this episode, but there's something vaguely familiar about Orgy and Cass.
Well, I had said before when we got to this episode, I wanted to talk about that. That like Cass as like a hippie orgy guy, that was familiar to me. I thought it was later in the seasons, and I thought that he was an actual cult leader, but I think I was merging him and oh my God, what is his name from the Umbrella Academy?
Oh,
Hold on a
what's
second. This is
that?
gonna drive me crazy because I actually love this actor. Klaus, Robert Sheehan from the Umbrella Academy. He plays Klaus, and Klaus is actually a cult leader in that show at one point. That's all I'll say about it in case you watch it, because
I've
you haven't
not
watched
seen
the
it.
Umbrella Academy, right?
No, I surprisingly have not, and I keep being told I need to watch it.
It's done, so like you can just plow through it.
I know, I know.
Yeah. But so I think I was kind of merging Klaus and Cass together in my brain. But he
Interesting.
also does have like that like hippie cult leader vibe in this episode a little bit,
He does. He's like
especially with
getting
all the
there.
women around him.
Yeah,
But yeah, so we learn that he has become human and this like futuristic.
I feel like he is a cult leader. They just didn't fully allude to it.
You think?
I think so. I mean, why does he have only women around him? Well,
Yeah, that's a good point. I wish
if
they
it's
could have
not,
elaborated more on it, like maybe make it like a two episode.
that would have been
Oh,
too
it's
much, I
also
think.
implied that he gets killed because
Well,
he
at the
sends
end,
them all in as decoys to be killed.
right, right. Can he get killed though?
I think so because he can definitely get hurt.
He lost his mojo. He broke his
He
foot.
said, yeah, he said he's
Yeah,
like human now and that he was held up for like 2 months because he like broke his ankle or something.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
So
I,
I think it's strongly implied that him and the definitely the others probably died.
I was so like whatever about that because I was interested in figuring out where they were gonna go with these two characters, with two deans.
Double Dean. Two very different Deans.
Double the pleasure, double the fun.
So this is interesting. To go back to Cass, Cass says that he's like human, that he lost all of his mojo, but he immediately was able to sense that Dean was from a different time.
Yeah,
So maybe he's like half angel, half human.
maybe he senses things, but he can't fully act anything out.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see like can he actually die? And if so, is it harder to kill him perhaps? We'll never know.
That's a really good question.
Only Ezekiel probably knows.
Yeah.
Wait, is he Zachariah?
Oh, from this episode?
Yeah.
Yeah, Zachariah.
I don't know why I always want to call him Ezekiel, but yeah, only Zachariah probably knows the answer
Because
to that.
Ezekiel seems like a more sneaky name, like slithery, kind of snake-like. Ezekiel.
Okay,
That's why I think.
that I'll roll with that. That works.
Ah,
One of the big things about this episode is that at the beginning, like before Dean gets thrown into the future by Zachariah, he is like, he had just been 16 hours, and so he wanted to like eat and go to sleep. And Cass really wanted to talk to him because he wants to look for the cult, because Cass believes that the cult is still around. So that's the setup at the beginning of the episode. And like it, that ties in with Dean going to the future too, because that is the end game. And like future Dean has actually just found the cult. So they know that the cult exists. And he's going to use it to kill Lucifer, who is now in Sam's body because Sam said the big yes
in Detroit,
in
5 years
Detroit.
before.
Yeah.
In 2009, anytime I see dates, I'm like, damn,
Yeah.
long
So
time
it's
ago.
like there's so much in this episode, but ultimately this episode is to going back a little bit to the picture book we were talking about. Right before we started recording, Gracie discovered that there's a supernatural picture book where the guys have to fight the yellow-eyed demon and they're fighting with each other. And so the book is that they have to learn to stop fighting with each other and listen to each other. So that's ultimately so that the point of this episode is that Dean needs to realize that like he needs to like stop and he needs to go be with his brother and that
Being cocky
yeah,
per future dean.
yeah, that he needs to like be there for his brother and that they need to work together because at the beginning of this episode, Sam, and I think we messed this up last time. Last time I think we thought the phone call was at the end of episode 3, but it's actually the very beginning of episode 4. Sam calls Dean and wants to work with him and Dean is like, "No, I don't want to work with you."
So sad.
Yeah, so sad. So like Dean needs to learn that like by him not wanting to work with his brother, by them not like working together and being solo, that something happens to Sam which causes him to say yes to Lucifer to become the vessel. Because as we learned in a previous episode, Dean and Sam are the true vessels for Lucifer and Michael, and that they can only be the vessel if they agree to be the vessel.
I was going to say something before and I was like, let me wait for Heather to finish. Of course, I forgot.
I don't know. Well, jump in whenever you remember
Sorry, yeah, my life.
one.
Sorry, my
But
life.
there's so much in this episode.
I like, as usual, felt very bad because here's Sam who decided to leave. It was his decision, but wanted to come back
Hmm.
because this
Because
is
he
something,
realizes it.
yeah,
He realizes because we learned in the last episode, right? I think it was the last episode. Yeah, we learned in the he learned in the last episode that he can't quit hunting and he can't quit what's going on with his situation because like
hmm
the last episode he was trying to live a normal life and it all went to hell. So he learned that lesson and is trying to get come back with Dean and Dean still hasn't learned that.
they're stronger together than apart.
Yeah.
And Sam needed Dean, period.
And Dean doesn't realize it, but he needs Sam. This actually goes back to Dean's story with the last episode too, because remember he like says to Cass like it's been so long since I've ever laughed this hard, and that like he's realizing that he's happier without his family, and like Cass pieces out, and I had wondered like oh is Cass gonna try to like show him that he shouldn't be all by himself somehow?
Well, Zachariah took care of that,
Yeah,
surprisingly. Well, he
especially
had his
just
own
like him.
purpose. He had his
Yeah,
own.
he had his agenda because he really wants to show Dean that he needs to agree to be Michael's vessel.
It seems to me in this episode that Zachariah is like, as much as he's a bad guy, he's a good guy because he wants to stop. Like he wanted to start the apocalypse, but he wants to end Lucifer.
Is he like a jaded good guy?
It
Kind of
sounds
like how
like
Dean is? Because
I
future Dean is like, well, like current Dean is trying to argue with him about like, oh, if I become the vessel, half the world is gonna burn. And future Dean is like, you need to become the vessel. Like, look at the world as it is right now when you don't become the vessel. Like, either way, people are gonna die, but at least if you become the vessel, we have a chance.
right. I guess that is the point with that, but the thing, and this is the okay. So now I'm like confused here, and maybe you could explain this to me because if he wants Michael, excuse me, Dean to be Michael's vessel to stop Lucifer, why did they start the apocalypse in the first place?
I'm trying to remember that scene where they're in the waiting room.
Right. It's just ongoing. It's like they need a battle because they've gotten to a certain point because it's ongoing. Remember, it was like repetitive. Like this is always happening.
Yeah.
Like there's always like some conflict over and over
Yeah.
and over again. And we have the mirror that shows like Zechariah over and over and over again. So it's just this. It's just like it is what it is, essentially. That can be the only reason.
Maybe it's I feel like it might be like a like let's just do something or like cease to exist type of thing. Because we
Or
also had was it Raphael who was like we're just so tired of this.
They need something to keep themselves entertained.
not necessarily entertained, but they're like, this status quo isn't working. Maybe this is going to explain to us the thinking behind MAGA. Not to bring politics into this, but like, I've been hearing a lot, or not even necessarily MAGA. That's not the right term. I've been hearing a lot of people like pollsters saying lately that when they talk to people that typically in the past have voted Democrat but voted Republican at the last election, the reasoning was we just wanted something to happen. The status quo was not working for us. Things were not progressing at all. And we just wanted somebody to be in office that would actually do something regardless of what it was that they were doing. And that to me sounds like what was going on with the Angels. God had pieced out. We don't know what happened to God, like whether God's dead or, well, we do know because we've seen all these
Girl,
seasons.
yes.
But like at this point, we don't know what's going on with God. And the angels are just like stuck in this kind of limbo of like what's going on. And so like it seems like based off of Zachariah and Raphael. Raphael was the one that was in the holy fire, right? I think I have that name right.
You're asking me. Remember, I'm not that.
Let me
I'm
look real quick
religious.
because
I'm
it's
not
been a
that
bunch of.
religious. Raphael,
Well, no, I
angel.
mean in the episode, where the last episode.
Oh, yes, yes,
That was Raphael, right? Okay.
yes.
So, like, based off of them, it seems like that might be the situation. Like, they were like, God's gone. We don't know what's going on. Everything's kind of like crazy. We just want something to happen. And if it's the apocalypse, that's at least something. Like, there's some kind of movement happening. And we don't know if we're going to win or lose it, but it's change. Look at me, or look at Supernatural explaining the current political world of 2025 back in 2009.
Oh my gosh. I'm not buying it though.
They knew it was coming.
They wanted to shake things up.
That's exactly it. In short, they wanted to shake things up. Things were not working,
Wanna
so
be
they were like,
starting
let's shake it
something.
up.
Wanna be starting something.
There you go. That song's even older than 2009.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I'm assuming, and I don't know if you're assuming this as well, but Bobby is dead in the future.
Bobby is dead in the future.
Because
Yes,
I think they show the wheelchair with bullet holes in it.
they do. And it's tipped over.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty sad.
Oh, right. That's when he goes to Bobby's house because like when he's in the wasteland, he's like, let me go to Bobby's house and everything's like shut up and there's cobwebs everywhere.
There's 3 bullet holes
Oh,
straight through the
did you
back.
see that there was a reference to President Palin? There's a
Yes,
blast from the past.
yes, yes. It's just so odd.
Yeah. Can you
But
imagine?
I like, well, to talk about politics, it goes to show like what the writers and producers, everyone involved, how they were leaning, that they were saying that mockingly.
Yeah. They do sneak in politics, which I didn't realize like when it was happening that they were doing that, but they do sneak in like little references here and there. Because I forget what episode it was. I think it's a future one that we haven't talked about yet for this season. But the Dean makes a reference of change. Like he's referencing Obama's change platform.
Mm.
And I was like, oh, I probably didn't catch that when I watched originally.
I probably wouldn't have caught it either because I'm not paying attention to it whatsoever. I just passed the scene where we already discussed it, but just bringing it up again. Past Dean calls the car baby for the first time.
Yeah, and then we see
Love it.
poor baby RIP in the future is all jacked up. And Dean is
Really.
so upset. And then he gets his ass knocked out.
Future Dean, like, how dare you? At least keep the car intact. Jeez
That
Louise.
like I feel like that speaks volumes to
How much Dean has
yeah,
changed.
and his like mental health and like his experiences, yeah. Like a lot of change. Like he looks the same, but he is not the same.
No, he's
And Cass even says, I like past Dean better.
I missed that. I probably missed that no matter how often I watched it. Oh my gosh.
I'm trying to remember. I think they were all in the car and I'm pretty sure I didn't write it down, but he no, I didn't write it down. He says something like Pastine says something and Cass laughs and Future Gene is like, Cass, and Cass is like, what? I like Pastine better.
That
So,
hasn't changed.
yeah, we're
He's
seeing a new Cass. We're seeing Cass as like an emotional person.
and Cass is like even the way he talks is a little bit looser. Like he's not so like you know what I'm saying? He's a little bit louder,
Well, and this
still
goes
clueless.
into my quote because I'm doing like a quote each episode. We'll see if I keep it up. But the way that Cass is acting, Dean goes, "Are you stoned?" Cass, generally. Dean, what happened to you? Cass, life.
You said it, Cass.
We feel you.
You said it. Adulting sucks.
Everyone in their
Mhm.
40s would have that same exact conversation. Got so excited I turned off my mic. Oh, did you have something to say about Chuck in this episode?
I
I
felt
feel
that
like last time you wanted to say something.
I did, and I'm going to see if I fast forwarded. But now when I see Chuck, everything that he says, I always wonder what's the double meaning behind it. Because in my head, they
You mean
knew.
how he predicted the pandemic with the toilet paper? Like our pandemic, our real life.
I wasn't gonna go that far because I wasn't thinking about it, but like I just always think now when I see him, does that mean something else? Is there a double meaning to it? Did the actor know from the beginning for
Did the
future
actor
episodes?
know, yeah, what was going to happen in future seasons? I'm going to say no because I think we talked about this last time.
I
Eric
know, but
Kripke had that this was going to be the last season. That like really
I mean, he might, okay, okay.
like did he think that
He
did he
thought that this was going to be the last season because he just got the inkling that the WB or CW, whatever the heck they were not going to pick it up for a following season, or he
I don't
wanted it to end.
I don't think that was it. I think based off of what I read, that when he wrote all these seasons, it was like one big storyline. Like maybe he had other ideas of like spin-offs. So maybe he did think that if he did like a spin-off that Chuck would progress in the way that he ended up progressing in the show. That's a really good question that I would love to know the answer about because if he didn't, if he thought like, okay, this is Chuck's a prophet from start to end, that really makes me like look differently as I'm rewatching this at the Chuck character than I actually am because I'm looking at him from the storyline of him for like all the seasons. But what I would really like to know about this future Chuck is he's a prophet. Is he no
Hmm.
longer a prophet because the angels have left, I'm assuming? Because he doesn't seem to have anything to add other
No, he
than the toilet
doesn't.
paper. Because, like, if people don't remember, what we're referring to is Chuck tells Dean to hoard as much toilet paper as possible to treat it like it's gold.
Hmm.
And Dean is like, okay, brother, like, sure. And Chuck is like, no, really, like, you're gonna thank me for this. Like, hoard as much toilet paper as possible.
Yeah. I just chucked it. I just thought he said it because of the situation that they're in now. I did not even think about the pandemic whatsoever.
I
But
mean,
this is a pandemic, isn't
obviously,
it?
it is. Obviously, they didn't know that we were gonna have the pandemic that we had, but it was very like they were clued into like what would be important during a pandemic with the whole toilet paper thing. Because yeah, that was like the first thing when the pandemic hit. Everybody was like toilet paper. Oh, meanwhile, I don't know how your egg situation is in New York, but I went to the grocery store yesterday. Not one egg in the whole store. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't even going to the store for eggs, so it was fine. I was getting like creamer for my coffee, and the whole like row, like a huge long, probably like between 10 and 15-foot row where they had eggs was just completely empty, and people were just standing there staring at the empty. They had egg replacement. which was
I,
actually cheaper than the eggs.
of course, the Today Show had last week like other ways of like supplementing your eggs and
You
baking
don't
soda
need
and
them.
this and that, and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, oh, that
I
I
mean, if
had
you're
no idea.
baking, you just throw a banana in instead of an egg. Like,
Oh, okay. All right.
I have a big box of egg replacement, which I think is like made of chickpea flour, so chickpeas can be used. Yeah.
I'm gonna be learning a lot.
So I'm not like all that concerned. But anywho, sorry.
That's okay. Well, what I wanted to say that I thought was double meaning because I had to look for
Yeah.
it and I put it on. So he talks about Cass, and I'm like, I don't think Cass is going anywhere. He like his face is just like, and like now I do realize that he's probably talking about like, oh, Cass is like in his house with like a bunch of girls. But what I saw and I kept seeing it, it makes me think like Cass isn't going anywhere because you know that he is going to help
Them later
Dean
down the
and
road.
Sam for as long as he possibly could.
Okay. Yeah, you don't know. Chuck is like so sus, like
Oh,
with everything. Like, what do you know? What do you not know? There's
yeah.
even like I think it's like, I don't think we've talked about it yet. Hold on a second. Oh, no, we haven't talked about it yet. Episode 9. I'll have more to say during episode 9, but like,
Okay.
you're like, Chuck, what the fuck do you know? And like, what do you mean by every word that comes out of your mouth? You're right. You question everything because he kind of acts like he's a bit of an idiot that doesn't know what's going on.
Until
And
he gets
then,
a
yeah,
vision.
and then like he'll say something and you'll be like, "Excuse me? What? What was that again?"
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
But yeah.
That was my thing with him. And that'll continue to be my thing with him.
Yeah. It's a theme with him.
Okay, next. Let's see. I was gonna say something, but we'll go via your notes.
Um, well, you can say whatever you want. I was just going through and looking to see what I said. Oh, I wrote down, oh, I guess I wrote this down in response to when they go to Jackson County Sanatorium to go fight Lucifer because they have the cult, so he's gonna go shoot Lucifer slash Sam. This is future Dean. He current Dean like catches him in like a lie and he pulls him aside because he says they're gonna go in through the front of the sanatorium. And past Dean is like, I can tell when you're lying. I like you're me. I know I've seen like those looks in the
In the
mirror
mirror.
lying. You're not telling them everything, like what's going on. And so future Dean basically like knows that this is a trap and that he's going to be sending the people that he cares about, including Cass, into this trap so that him and current Dean can go in a different way to try to get Lucifer. And so I had wrote down like future Dean has lost his moral code without Sam. So going back to like I'm blanking on the character's name, but Sterling, his character that he
Oh my
played,
gosh, what is the name of that character? Oh,
start with a G.
Gordon?
Gordon? That might be it. That sounds right. But how back when he was still living, we talked about how he is basically Dean if Dean didn't have his family to keep him morally in line. So future Dean has turned into that type of hunter that no longer has the moral code.
That's right, and it is Gordon. I checked.
Gordon, look at us. Yeah, so
Oop, oop.
poor Dean.
They go through a lot,
Yeah.
and I can't remember who said it, but they said it best when I think it was Dean. They're each other's Achilles heels.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They really are.
But at the same time, what they're their weakest parts, but then they're also their strongest parts. And we're gonna actually see that. See, I keep like making loose connections to future episodes. There's in episode 7, we're gonna see that as well. So listeners, you're gonna have to tune in to hear
Tune
what we're
in.
talking about.
Tune in. I know I've said this before and I'll continue saying this, but I just feel bad all the time. Like they try to be away from each other to kind of like try to grow, it seems like be their own individuals. It's just not possible. There's too much going on. There's too much at stake for them to be able to
Mhm.
just be like, okay, whatever, I'm gonna do my thing, you do your thing. And
It's so high stake.
and Sam, we talked about this last time, but I'll bring it up again. You can't just walk away from it. I don't know how their mom did it. Another
Well, and she
topic we
didn't
talked about.
succeed at it. She only
No,
succeeded for like what, 5, 6 years maybe?
like you can't knowing what you know and seeing odd things happening, you're always going to at the very least question. Like, what's
Yeah,
going on there?
exactly.
And to turn a blind eye, it's the moral code, you're just pushing it aside. Like, how do you just, it makes me wonder, like, police officers, like, do you just go about your day and, you see something, you're just like, whatever, or do you actually act on it? And,
And which is the healthier response?
right.
Yeah. I just realized that Dean explained exactly what I was trying to say before later in the episode. He, you're right, they are each other's Achilles heel, but Dean says we keep each other human. So, what did you think of Sam slash Lucifer's monologue?
First off, I will comment that I think that Jared Padalecki is a horrible actor. I'm like, it's not working for me. It's not working for me. I and I know I've brought this up. Like that's something I remember where I'm just like Jared, he needs a little bit more like coaching with his acting, whatever, because it just seems like his facial expressions are very fake. They're fake. They're
They're
not
very over the top.
believable.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
thank
have
you.
talked about this in the past.
Thank you.
Like his facial expressions are a bit
He's
off.
gotten a lot better as Sam and his interactions with Dean. I haven't really paid much attention to his interaction with other characters, but I would assume that they've gotten better as well. But playing a whole new character, I think he couldn't find the right footing in being mean, if you know what I'm saying, being the devil, essentially. So it was hard for me to even take seriously what he was saying because I feel like the approach was his Lucifer was smug
That's interesting.
and he doesn't play smug very well. And I don't know if it's, I don't, but knowing Lucifer as Mark Pellegrini as Lucifer, that's like the right
Yeah,
way of acting
that's true. He
Lucifer.
is very smug when he's in the other vessel.
Yes,
That's really interesting because I did not pick up on that at all. I think I was more focused on what he was actually saying,
which is the right thing to do.
and I didn't capture that as like him trying to be smug at all. Almost the
Wearing a
opposite.
white suit to showcase purity, probably, but it just,
Yeah,
of course, was not going to work because he's
because
Lucifer.
he is an angel, just a fallen angel. Are you okay?
No, 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 I'm thinking. I'm just thinking. It
Okay.
really got me thinking because of his story. Is his story viable? I can't remember
Yeah,
if
I
we
was.
talk about it or it's talked about in future episodes. Does he reiterate that that is what actually happens? I know
Yeah,
that.
I don't remember. Probably not.
I wonder if it has to be in the Bible also, but of course I'm not. But it's just the whole demeanor threw me off, and I really didn't pay attention to the monologue.
So what I find interesting, so the monologue was very much like, this is why I'm doing this. I love my father so much, and I'm paraphrasing, so I hope I don't get things wrong. I love my father so much, and I am so loyal to him, and he has shit on us and uplifted you evil humans as to be above everyone else. And all I did was say, no one is above you, Father. And I was cast out for that. So like he's trying to like give this very rational argument. And I guess the question is, do you believe he's earnest? Or do you think he's just trying to like be like, woe is me. I'm the
Hmm.
poor victim here.
Hmm.
Uh, and Dean, of course, is like, wah, screw you.
Not buying it.
Yeah, not buying it. And like I think the white suit and like being surrounded by the beauty of the flowers and things like that is all part of that persona that he's trying to give off.
In a garden of all places, right?
But he's literally like as Dean comes in, he's witnessing him break the neck of a person being
Hmm.
future Dean.
No
So
pure, no purity there.
yeah, Yeah, there's definitely like the juxtaposition of like breaking someone's neck while in a white suit surrounded by flowers, trying to act like you're
Can you blame him though?
pious.
Like somebody's coming out to get you.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh. And at the end, also, he's telling Dean, no matter what you do, we're gonna come back here. This is where you're gonna, like, you can say yes, you can say no,
Hmm.
you can do anything possible, and you're still gonna wind up here, which reminds me of the Winchesters.
Oh yeah, I had to think about like what, because I was like, you know what's so fantastic, but like we've had conversations.
Yes, well, where Dean,
Yeah,
did the best he could,
yeah, it didn't. Yeah,
and it didn't pan out. Things have to happen because things have to happen.
yeah, Mary. I just want to know, like, Mary, what were you thinking? Because like
Well,
in the original timeline, you assume she doesn't know the date or that something's gonna happen, but she
she's
still had
given
all
the
the knowledge of
date.
being
Or
a hunter.
no, was she given the date or was John Papa given the date? No, she was given the
In the
date because
Winchesters, okay,
Dean
hold on a
tells her.
second. Spoilers if you're planning on watching the Winchesters, fast forward a few minutes. In the Winchesters, which we find out at the end is a totally different
I have to
parallel
watch
universe,
Winchesters.
because the multiverse. But
So Marvel and DC.
in Supernatural, we assume she wasn't given the, but she still had all the knowledge of growing up as a hunter.
She is given a date by Dean. When they go back in time, he tells if it's
Oh,
not her, it's Papa.
it
Gives
wouldn't
a
be
date.
Papa.
Don't go. He's like, don't go. He tells her, don't go into the room or
Oh.
whatever. And this date, this date, this
You're
date.
right. You're right. Okay, never mind. It's not a spoiler alert. I was confusing the two. No, you're right. So, yeah. So, I was thinking that happened in the Winchesters, but in the Winchesters, nothing like that happens. In a previous season of Supernatural, when Dean goes back, he does give the date to Mary and he says, no matter what you do, do not get out of bed. He doesn't tell Papa because Papa doesn't know anything about hunting at that point. And that's how we figure out like because Mary agrees to let the yellow-eyed demon come back in 10 years if
That's Jared. Hello, Dean.
I'm going to continue on while you make fun of Jared. We love you, Jared.
We do. We do.
What was I saying? Oh, Papa doesn't know because Mary agrees to let the yellow-eyed demon come back in 10 years if she brings him back to life because he's killed in that episode. So Papa wakes up and comes back to life, but he has no idea what happened. So he still has no sense of like hunting or anything like that. He won't know about hunting until after Mary dies. So yeah, you're right. But yeah, like I don't know. Like I want to know what's going on in Mary's head because she's
Do we
told the
find out?
date. She knows about hunting. She doesn't have any kind of weapons anywhere, any way to protect her children or herself. Like I just don't understand. So maybe they'll explain it a little bit more in the future.
Now that I'm
Like
thinking
I
about
wonder if
it.
Dean calls her out and is like, "Yo, mom, why didn't you listen to me?" I feel like I would probably remember if that
Oh my
happened.
gosh. Okay, let's put that in the upcoming SPN.
Hmm.
Okay.
There we go. It's gonna be a hot minute before
Okay.
we get there.
Does Dean confront Mary
About
about the
ignoring him.
date when she passes?
Yeah.
Damn it. Wait, let me tell he told her not to go into Sammy's room that day. And it's like she forgot about it too, because if she knew if she made a deal, right? And like 10 years time or whatever, she made a deal.
Yeah, they don't forget about that because we've learned that through
Well,
other episodes. When they make a deal with the Crossroads demons, they don't forget that they made the deal.
yeah, so how is she not remembering that?
Unless this is somehow different, but like that needs to be explained to us.
But it's like, how do you forget? Regardless, like she knows what she's getting herself into, unless, of course,
Well, I'm thinking like, did he have a way of making her forget that she even made the deal? But like, I don't know that that would ever have been explained to us if that's the case. It doesn't follow like the standard rules of making a deal with the devil. Like,
And I think, wasn't it in that episode we saw the yellow-eyed demon coming back for some of his deals? And they were all like in a panic, like, oh.
I don't know if it was that episode or not, but we do see at some point them come back. Yeah.
I will just say that maybe there was a little, like they were still figuring things out.
Yeah.
That's the,
There's a little bit of holes there.
but we shall see.
Okay. Yeah, maybe it gets explained.
Yes.
The only other thing I had for this episode, because I want to be mindful that we still have to talk about episode 5,
The
is
filler episode. Wah, wah.
we're still going to talk about it. But after all of this, Dean comes back. Well, I don't
Sammy
remember.
calls
Well,
Dean.
before that, like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but I guess Sam comes back. Oh, now it's coming back to me now. Sam comes back. I mean, not Sam. Zachariah brings Dean back and is like, see, did you learn your lesson? And he's being a total douche. And Cass zaps Dean up and
Because they have an appointment.
yeah, brings him to the middle of the road, and he's like, "Oh, you have perfect timing, Cass." And Cass goes, "We had an appointment," and so he's back to like normal Cass again, no emotion.
Who was
But
standing
he's
there the whole entire time,
right, yeah,
waiting
like
for
the
the
whole night
appointment.
he's just like standing on the side of the road.
I
But
just
yeah,
love
so
it.
then Dean reaches out to Sam, and that's when he tells him like, "We keep each other human. Love you, bro." End of scene.
End scene.
Yeah.
It was a really good episode.
It was. It was like a real meaty, good episode.
A lot of information there.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Definitely like an important one for like the overall plot. The next episode, not so much. But it was still a good
It
episode.
was fun,
Yeah, it was a fun episode.
like always.
Yeah.
But
5 is
I, I,
Fallen Idols.
I will say this, like after coming from such a meaty episode to go into that, it was like they could have given us something that was maybe, in my opinion, still a filler episode, but not a goofy filler episode. Like just something where Dean and Sam continue to bond a little bit more, if possible. But it is what it is, obviously, because this
Yeah,
is
that's
season 5 out of
true.
15.
I will say that this episode, episode 5, is a filler episode probably because the next episode is also going to be like a very meaty, important episode.
I need to get up on it.
Yeah, you do. I think you're going to enjoy it. I will say, it was one that I was like, this happens this
Oh,
early?
gosh, I can't wait to watch it. I should have just like kept it playing today. Oh
I'm always
gosh.
surprised. But yeah, this is more of like a campy episode. So it's episode 5 is Fallen Angels or Fallen Idols. Takes place in Canton, Ohio. And the summary is Sam and Dean head to a small town where people are murdered by famous dead icons. However, the brothers come to a dead end when two teenagers reveal they saw Paris Hilton kidnap their friend.
I will say this. Paris, like, her acting wasn't so bad. I haven't seen her in anything like House of Wax, but,
Oh yeah, I've only seen her in like reality type.
yeah, yeah. I thought she was okay. And in this
That's
episode, I
fun.
don't see anyone who stood out. Last episode, it was just like recurring actors, so I didn't bring up anything. But we
Okay.
do have Paris Hilton playing kind of Paris Hilton.
Paris Hilton slash Forest God.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, spoiler.
Oh my gosh, love
This
it.
was a fun episode in that like they brought in like things about like idols who had died and stuff. So we learned the history